Now
I
to
need to
Christopher
work on it.
Walken.
Welcome back to Grandma's Not Right. These two old ladies are going to talk about stuff that might be interesting to some people. I don't know. I
Yay.
I got to work on it. I don't proclaim to be.
I
I
love your Christopher Walken. It's my
thank you.
favorite.
It's I was watching the counter, the 5 4, and looking to see if the seconds that are up on the top go because that one time
It
we
was out of
did a
sync.
Well, no, that one time you cut it off to check something, and then remember we recorded for like 30 minutes, and I'm all, hey, are those
Oh,
numbers supposed to be moving? It still says 00 on my end.
right.
Oops.
Oops.
They are moving, so
We're
good.
good.
Yes.
So, hello, and hello, viewer. Welcome back to another episode of Grandma's
Not
Not
right.
Right.
I was waiting for you to go back and
I
forth.
know.
Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me.
Okay,
Um,
do it in say Grandma's Not Right in like Rosie O'Donnell was saying.
oh. Hey, welcome back to Grandma's Not Right. That's the best I can do.
Now
I
to
need to
Christopher
work on it.
Walken.
Welcome back to Grandma's Not Right. These two old ladies are going to talk about stuff that might be interesting to some people. I don't know.
Yay.
I got to work on it. I don't proclaim to be.
I
I
love your Christopher Walken. It's my
thank you.
favorite.
It's you know what though. It's really not that hard when you think about.
Well,
There's some accents that just about everybody can do because it's pretty on point. But
because there's a certain style and flow to the way he talks, not
it's
necessarily his accent or anything like that, but
right. He's the best.
I
I
love
hope
him.
there's
He's
I hope
funny.
there's never any scandal about him
I know.
ever.
Oh, there won't
Never.
be.
I don't want to find out any bad stuff about him.
I just would love to have coffee with him sometime.
Yeah.
Just sit down and have coffee with Christopher Walken. I would love it. I mean, he's done
I
so many
just
amazing films. He's such a talented entertainer
he
and seems
is.
like a really nice person. I don't know.
And I know he's been in stuff that that's just everything. People could name a billion things he's done and with really good integrity or whatever. And I'm not saying anything he's done has not been good, but it's just there's always the usual people, just like young people know, oh, I know this actor from Harry Potter, but
Right.
they had a whole bunch of shit they did, and these kids only know him from Harry Potter in their 80s or whatever. But with Christopher Walken, like Dead Zone, man, fucking Dead
Yeah.
Zone. That and his the what was the band Fat Boy Slim, of course. We're entertainer, dancers, gymnasts.
Right.
Oh my God, I love that so
I
much.
I do. I love watching his dance moves, and I know he did musical theater and stuff. My favorite series that he was in though was the one can't think of the name of it. Dang it.
Wake up.
But the one about the angels.
Angels,
He
a
was an he's a he
series?
was an angel in it. Well, it was movies.
Oh, a movie, I'm
So it was
sorry.
like a couple of different movies.
Oh,
And he was the angel in it. But anyway,
yeah.
that
He's
was one
so
of my
nice.
favorites.
Well, we're gonna have to label this episode something and walk Christopher Walken, I guess.
Yes, we are. We're walking. We're big fans. We don't want to look stalkerish, but oh, loved you from the beginning.
Yeah.
From actually my first movie that I was exposed to was uh what is wrong with my brain tonight?
Oh, wait.
Communion.
Do you really want to ask that? What did we
Communion.
just go through?
Yeah, I
What did
know.
we
This
just
is
go
what I'm
through?
drinking.
No, you're a good girl. I know.
I'm trying.
Not me. IDGAF right now. Just kidding.
I know. And I
My,
understand
I'm not going to go into it, but my car got hit again.
again.
Fucking
I'm
3 times in
sorry.
less than 8 years. I actually 5 years because that other accident was like in 2024. Whatever, dude. Third fucking time, but I'm not taking it in. It wasn't significant. It was a parking lot deal. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Anyway, Hey, so I know we missed last week. Um, it just didn't come together. We just had some stuff in our lives that were just like and it just didn't happen. So, I was so upset because I actually texted you and I said, "Man, I feel like a failure." It's just like when you miss out on your Duolingo streak or something you're trying to do and not miss a day, and I
Right.
felt like such a failure because I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do it, and you didn't know if you could do it, and it's like I wanted to go at least one whole year to show I could do it without failure, but shit happens, so it's okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we missed it. I wasn't feeling well and the one
Yeah,
night and then it just things just got in the way, so we apologize viewers for skipping a week on you. But we might slow down and if at some point we might slow down to where we're just doing maybe two a month, one every other week or something.
we'll see.
Depending on, but only because I don't know as in our moving process,
I
you
guess
know,
I'll forgive that. No,
I'm
I'm
not
just
sure how,
kidding.
but it doesn't mean one of us can't get on, or we can't do a
Right,
remote
right.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, life sometimes creeps up and says, not today.
Not today, mother lover.
So how, what else did you do this week? How did your week go?
It wasn't too bad until that shit moment. No, so I've had a lot of gigs lately. In fact, someone was just talking about it. One of the members, we were laughing and said, "Man, I'm gonna really have withdrawals now because we've been doing like with my one band. We had like 3 gigs within a month, and there's going to be another pause, and then we'll have another one. Yesterday was at a plaza, a local plaza, and it was so mother loving hot. Now, normally that's not a big deal because depending on where you're at, like when we went to Fantasy Springs one time, that was hot. That sound check was hot, but we could go back and retreat into air conditioned areas, that kind of thing. This, we walk into the green room they set up for us. It was like a break room for the workers that are there in the plaza, and that's fine.
Mhm.
It just was funny though, because it just kind of had that little faint smell of like a garage, like dad's gas station,
Yeah.
like I don't know how else to explain it. Menly men, and I'm sure there's some women in there too, but just I don't know. Because there's stuff they put the barriers in there or whatever. There's equipment
Right.
and okay, whatever. And we know men are a little bit not as clean as women. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. So I had my granddaughter with me because I had to watch her until her mom could pick her up. And it was like, look, man, I'm not gonna have her losing money when I could time it just right, blah, blah, blah. But it was hot in that room. I walk in there, I'm like, oh my God, it's so hot and stuffy in this room. There's a breeze outside. Yes, it's hot outside. It's 100 something. I cracked the door, and then one of the members came in and said, hey, we gotta keep this door closed. And I said, well, I was just cracking it because there was a breeze and it was really hotter in here. He wasn't having it. He just kept repeating to me, this is hot. Well, yeah, dude, I get that it's hot. Moving air, and you and I used to get in this discussion in your van. I go, please just turn on the air. It's just going to blow hot air. I go, dude, I'd rather have hot air blowing my hair, blowing the sweat, and then I don't need air conditioning because the air was broke or something. My air was
Yeah.
always broke. Your air was always broke in the early days. But I was just like, I just need moving air. I don't care if it's hot. So that's just the person I am. I'm like, dude, but it was hot, and then on stage with the lights, and it was outside even though there was like a little tarp over it, but it was a not clear. But anyway, I just laughed though because it's like hashtag, first world problems. Like, oh my gosh, it's so hot. I'm having to do this little concert and it's so hot. And I have to step back sometimes and go, man, you're looking out in this crowd, or these people are dancing to the music that this band is giving, and you're a part of it. You're getting paid. Now, yeah, if you cut it down to I had to leave my house at 2:30 and then I get out of there at 9:30 or 10 for what I get paid, and you break it down hourly, it's not a lot. But it's an opportunity to get to do a hobby, and that's kind of what we're going to, I know, be discussing today, is hobbies that make money, basically things that we love doing.
Right,
It's not your
hustles,
job.
side hustles.
It's a side hustle, yeah. And I wanted to be a rock star, which we'll have a separate episode for that. But I've wanted to be a
Yeah.
rock star since I was a kid. Gymnastics took me over here, which I'm grateful for. I was not destined to go over here. And again, we'll talk about that in detail. But I would have been the next, like Lindsay Lohan or Britney Spears, if I would have gone to become a rock star. So, I'm an old lady getting to be a rock star locally, and I am fucking happy about that. I'm getting paid to sing. I'm a professional, and I couldn't even accept that for a while. Someone goes, "Well, oh, are you a singer? You professional?" I'm like, "Oh no." And they're like, "Do you get paid to do it?" Well, yeah. Well, then you're a professional. I'm like, "Oh, okay. I didn't think of it
Right.
that way." you know. So anyway, I'm sorry. What about you, sister? What have you been up to this last week?
Well, um, I dropped Jason off to his dad on Tuesday, and his dad took him
Oh.
out yeah, they went out to Lake Havasu, um, on the river.
Oh.
So,
Wow.
not the river, but out to Lake Havasu. Anyway,
Well, the
um,
river does run into Lake Havasu and goes out, right?
well, I know, but there's a
I'm
difference
just,
between going to the river and going to Lake
I
Havasu.
know,
There's a
I'm just messing with
difference.
you. There's a only, but if you know, you know.
If you know,
If
you
you're,
know.
if you're hashtag, especially you type of Caucasian white here.
Well,
Wait,
yeah,
not, sorry, that was
bro,
redundant. Not
or if
Caucasian
you're
white,
a
just
bro
white
or a
white.
broho, you know.
Sorry,
Anyway,
not sorry. Okay.
um, so yeah, I've had the whole week to myself, and
Nice.
I've been cleaning out closets and files and paperwork and purging. I've just every room I've taken one room at a time. I did the sunroom first, and
Uh,
I packed up, threw away all the stuff I didn't need, packed up all my art supplies, um, stacked all my paintings. I had gotten a storage thing the last time I was in Ukaipa. I got a storage unit, so I
what?
took
In Ukaipa?
yes, because I guess uh we're looking at moving back
No.
to the area.
Yeah, he's like, why are you packing up? That's kind
Oh,
of important.
I guess I need to explain that,
Yeah.
don't I? Well,
It's
viewers,
manifesting
what's
forward. Yes.
happening is I am manifesting big time here. We need to move back because Mike's all of Mike's business is out there in the Inland
Mhm.
Empire, in
Yeah.
Redlands, Riverside, Ukaipa, um, and west of that. So it there's just not enough work out here in the desert for him. And now that there's nothing tying me to the desert, I don't work out here anymore. So we decided, to save gas and to kind of get back closer to family because our mom is aging and I want to be there
Mhm.
for her aging years.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of reasons. So we're going to be
Yes.
listing our house. And so we're meeting with a realtor in August, and I want to start the ball rolling
Right.
so that when he gets here, he can kind of see the house better without all our crap in the way. Plus, we have to get it out of the way so that we can do like, paint touch-ups and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
shampoo the carpet, things like that. I don't want to have to move stuff and then move it again and then move it again.
Yeah.
So get it out. I'll just
You
put
know,
my artwork on hold. So my hobby right now, that hobby is on
yeah.
hold. So just, you know,
So
writing.
it's kind of like you got to be careful, because if you leave your art out, the people think you, like, if they do a walkthrough and they think you are a super artist that's too good and makes too much money, they're like, man, they're trying to lowball us, or we're going to lowball them,
I don't
or
think
whatever.
so.
And then if you look like, if they think, oh well, there's just a few pieces out, maybe you're a starving artist, and then it's like you really have to watch it with that art shit. That could determine what they think you are.
I know. No, I'm getting rid of, I'm not getting rid of, but I'm putting in storage
Yeah.
all our family photos,
Oh yeah.
everything that personalizes the house, and going a little minimalistic so that
Yeah.
they can have a better
Right. Right.
view of what their stuff might look like in the house. So that's kind of what I'm doing.
And it's really bittersweet because, I'm not a fan of the desert per se, But you living out there, it was like every time you go out there, it was kind of like, it was only 50 minutes from my house, 50 minutes. And it's like a world away in the desert. Your house is that one wall, a whole wall is just nothing but windows and the little birds right there. And it's a beautiful house. Like, man, it's gonna be a
Mhm.
nice steal for anybody, but it is bittersweet because I know you
Yeah,
guys have been there for like 12 years now, the same as we've been at
almost.
this house. And
Hmm.
I get it, man. It's hard, but the draw of being with family, again, every time I have to make that 50 minutes, I'm like, fuck. No, I'm
I
kidding.
know. And Mike does that every single day,
God,
you
I
know,
couldn't.
and I do it twice a week, or I mean,
Right.
2 days a week. But
Yeah.
um, the thing is, we need to find a place that can handle all of Mike's work equipment.
Yeah.
We have a boat. He's got his family piano, which we have to find a house
Oh,
that fits the piano.
oh
Somebody's got to,
yes.
nobody else can take it. So,
Yeah.
um, it's 100 years old and it's a family heirloom that we're
Still
the only
plays well. I
musicians.
played on it.
You played it, you learned to play piano on that thing.
Yeah, it's
So,
beautiful.
we need to honor it. And it
Yeah.
was Mike's grandmother's, and his grandfather bought it new for her
So crazy.
100 years ago.
Wait, where was it? Was it ever at the cabin?
No,
Oh,
Laura
okay.
once, I don't remember where it was, but it ended up with Laura.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure if Mike's dad had it.
Oh, okay.
I don't really know. But
It's
now it's ours.
beautiful.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we're the caretakers, I should say.
Right, right, right. No, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
So we've got to, figure out, and we need a certain amount of space in the house because we need Jason to be comfortable, and we want to
Yeah.
have a guest room and a bathroom for anyone who needs to come and stay, and we want I need a place to do my art and a place for an
Hmm.
office. So, that's why
Yeah.
it takes a while for us to kind of make a
Oh, yeah.
decision, and we want it to be our final home. We don't want to
That's
have to
right.
move again.
No, I
So.
get that.
Anyway, so that's what I've been doing all week.
And
Yep.
that's so much. I don't know. You and I are similar but different. Like I take stuff way too much empathetic. And as you know, like we used to clean out the gym and I'd be like taking forever. And you're like, dude, just throw shit in a box. I'm like, no, I don't want to take trash to the next gym. I want to make
That's
sure it's clear.
smart.
No, but there has to be a compromise where I'll fucking sit. Like I've got a table over here right now. Amelia asked me, my granddaughter, why is there a table in your room? I specifically bought a
Not a table.
craft size table, folding table to put in my room to go through all my papers. I already threw away a whole garbage bag full of nonsense. So I'm just saying, like, and it's taken me weeks because I have to,
Yeah.
do it a little bit at a time, but it's like it's painstaking and it's
Mhm.
not traumatizing, but I
It's
guess you could call it.
it's
We've talked about
disruptive.
that this week a lot.
Well, it's disruptive, but also if you've done like me and you've saved things from way back, it churns up memories.
Yeah, that's it. It is kind of traumatizing a little bit.
Yeah. It's triggering.
It's triggering me. It's
Definitely.
triggering. Yeah, I mean, and I do that with hoarding and stuff, but this is just like bills or whatever. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I don't want to. Okay, I'll admit it right now.
Okay.
So by doing this, I'd get these brown envelopes from my dental insurance, and I had forgotten what those the parchment looking brown envelopes mean. I opened one up. This is last week. I opened one up and I got excited for a minute because I saw this check for like $800 to me. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then it dawned on me in like a split second, man. That little switch turns real quick. Uh, oh, yeah. Last time I got work done, they said you're supposed to take these checks and then directly give them to the dental place.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I'm like, oh, fuck. So now I got to call the dentist. And I was supposed to do that today. And I forgot because of all the shit in the car and whatever. So I just think it's funny. Like, once again,
What?
I let it build up. Now I know when I get those brown envelopes, open that shit immediately, but it's like, I admit, I am terrible about keeping in sync. It's either I'll check emails every day, but I won't check the mail. I'll check the mail every day, but I won't check my emails. I can't find a balance, and that's a whole series for another shit show. But yeah, so now I got to call the dentist and go, hey man, I got these checks here you've probably been waiting for. One's like
Um,
800, one's 500, one's 100. So I feel
right.
terrible, but
No, don't feel terrible. Just take a minute and say, my life is a shitstorm, and sometimes I just don't get to my mail. I'm not expecting money for myself, so I don't open things,
oh
especially
my
if I think they
God.
might be bills, you know?
I know, right? What's this? Or I thought it was just like a policy update. They send you stuff
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
or a
Yeah.
or a policy has changed and we're letting you know or whatever. And oh my
Right.
God. Anyway, so yeah, going through shit, I get that, man. Yeah, you're a stronger woman than I am in that area. I know you can just, you're
So
good at,
hard.
yeah, but you're a lot better at chucking shit that needs to be
It's,
chucked.
well, and some of it just isn't worth saving, even if it's keepsakes, because it's just been through garage after garage. It's just, some of it's just nasty.
It's
It's like,
damaged.
throw it away.
Yeah.
Or it's damaged, and pictures, some of them are just faded to where you can hardly tell what they are. So what's the
Especially
point
if
of
they're
keeping
from the printed from the computer.
or
Yeah.
the or the Polaroid kind,
Oh yeah, Polaroids.
those don't last. So, I've been it's hard though, like the one of the things that's really tough for me to let go of are greeting cards, because it's like someone personally hand wrote, like especially if it's from dad, mom, or each other,
Yeah.
or my kids. It's like, I don't really want to throw these away.
You know
And
what?
Mike writes such sweet notes, so take a picture of it. I know.
Well, you can do that, but here's what I've been doing. Especially with Christmas cards, I take the part that hasn't been written on, and then I'll make gift tags out of them or whatever. And if it's something
Hmm.
that's, I really want to save the writing on it, I might cut the writing part out and then just kind of keep it so it's condensed. It's a little bit
Hmm.
smaller, just the writing. And then I think, okay, maybe I can make a collage out of that, or I don't know, or even if I save it for the burning bowl ceremony and go, it's a message personally to me. No
Hmm.
one's going to know. And then if I burned it with everything, it goes into the atmosphere, then I at least feel like I gave it a good send off. But I'm the same way you are. It's like I save that shit so much, especially the ones mom handmade or, if
Yes,
they're
I'm
from
never getting rid of
you.
those. So yeah. So that's what I've been doing. And like
Nice.
I said, I held on to my charcoal and my watercolors and some paper. I'm not putting those in storage so that I have them if I want to do some sketching or
Oh, good.
do some painting just for
Okay.
fun.
Nice.
And then get back to my writing and doing some
Okay.
digital art. So I have things to do. Um, but yeah, this is just, it's grueling to get all this done. And, Mike's working so many hours. He's just not available, but he'll be available over the next few weekends because the band isn't playing for a few weeks. So
Well,
he's going to have some actual time off. Because
okay.
then we still have stuff to do up at the cabin. I don't know if we're
Yeah.
even going to get the boat up there this year. So talk about problems. Talk about, middle class white
I
person
know.
problems. Wah, wah,
Oh,
wah.
I
I
can't.
don't have to pack because I'm going to move. Oh, we can't take the boat to the cabin this year. It makes me sound like a filthy rich bitch.
Pretentious
But
bitch.
but it's more like we've inherited things. We've got a baby grand piano we inherited from the family because no one had room
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
So it's like we have been fortunate in being able to accept these things that people have put in our
Right.
lives.
Right. Right. Right.
And now we need to work hard to honor them and say, be grateful that we have them.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't complain at all about any of it, but um,
Well, I know
I,
we're always
I
struggling with that. You and
well, I
I.
want to
We
make sure
always
we're
talk about it.
enjoying life, though.
Yeah.
One thing I keep telling Mike, I know that we need to. I mean, we don't have a wealth pension. We don't have anything. We have nothing other than what we make each month, and
Right.
my social security right now. I mean,
Yeah.
so it's what we do to make a living is all that we have besides social
Yeah.
security and a tiny, tiny nest egg that you'd have to have a magnifying glass to see.
Well, and I'm sure, all I'm going to say, because I got to say it delicately, not that who's watching this, but our mother and your daughter, uh, but we know that we stand to eventually get some money from some sources. Let's just say that. Let's just say that eventually you and I know we're going to get something someday. It's a very bittersweet thing, but yeah, the reality is okay. But we were just talking about this the other day with somebody, and I'm like, what a sad thing to know. Well, should I wait and buy a house for how many years, or should I wait to? But I'm just saying it's not a nest egg, but it's interesting how there are some people who have nothing. Like I have nothing right now to give to my kids. I might. I'm only 59. Who knows what might happen between now and then that I could suddenly have some income that I could give to the kids. I know when I die, my insurance policy through my job is going to have something, but I'm just saying, like, we've talked about this a little bit before. Just you feel like you want to leave your kids something. And then I think about how many people don't have fucking shit, man. They
Yeah.
work like dogs, working 2 and 3 jobs. And here we're talking about, oh my gosh, like, I don't have anything to leave my kids. I can barely survive. It's like, do the kids really give a shit about that? Like my therapists have told me that several times.
Right?
Do your kids
It's
really
like,
need? Do they expect it? There's plenty of people who don't have money to pass on. Why do you feel the need to do that?
no.
So silly.
Well, I think part of it is um our mother has been so smart with her own money. She's
Definitely.
she's been just an amazing financial wizard, really. Um, and
I,
I it's so
I didn't get
impressive.
that,
Like,
Gene.
I wish that I wish I would have paid more attention to her, and I wish I
And
would have
grandma. Yeah.
learned my, yeah, and grandma learned my lessons quicker. But anyway, um, I think too, and I know you understand this. I'm constantly needing to create something. My whole life I've been like that, and I'm scattered. It's like I'll have this great job or whatever. But I always seem to, oh, I want to finish this book. Oh, I wish I could go paint for a week. Oh, I really would love to have my own little shop and sell little incense and candles. Oh, I wish I could print t-shirts. I've got so many great ideas. Oh, I've got an idea for a movie. I've got an idea for a book. And it doesn't stop. It's constant.
Constant.
So that's distracting from
Yeah.
just being the good little human where you work, you get your pension or whatever, and you retire, and now you're good. Nope, not me, because I always was looking for the next mountain to climb.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what that is
Both of
or where
us.
that came from.
Now, in my uneducated psychological guessing here, evaluation, it's funny because I mean you have a son that's autistic. I have a child that or a son that has a ADHD. And I know I have ADHD, and I feel like although you're not autistic per se, you and our one brother share that your intelligence level is here, and a lot of people know that when you the higher intelligence level, sometimes awkward in the social aspect. You can be an entertainer, but it took you a while. Like you would be in front of people. You do gymnastics or ballet, but it took you a long time to start singing in front of people as a soloist or playing your guitar or whatever. Or like when we'd be goofy doing our gymnastics shows, if you look back,
Mhm.
it wasn't until that one Nutcracker, man, when we went full out, and like I was so proud of you. But that's what I mean. It's kind of like I almost feel like you have more of the autistic tendencies, I have more of the ADHD tendencies, but they all fit together, and it makes sense because that's just it, man. You have the creative gene part that you want to do all this stuff, and you're smart enough to do it, but then you're like not aware enough. You weren't aware enough to know when to stop or when to level it out or whatever.
Mhm.
And I wasn't either with my ADHD. So the two of us together, there was
Bad
just
deal.
no fucking, it's
Well,
like,
I think too, it's when you find it so, I don't want to say so easy, but somehow you can make things happen, or you can go, you could try something and it works. And so
right.
now, oh wow, I did it. Okay, I'm doing this now. Yay. And then at some point you're like, okay, but I didn't know it was going to be so much work. Or
Oh,
but
yes.
wait, why am I not rich yet? Or
Fucking on to the next thing.
on to the next thing, because this one didn't do what I wanted it to. And that's so sad when you think about it,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, but to be honest, the one thing we did stick out was gymnastics. And I know you left early in, and I know you always feel bad about that because it's like, well, if I would have held on a little longer, it would have been, it was going to be what it was going to be, whether you and I were together or running it independently. It didn't matter. That it had a plan and the gym went to where it was going to go. And I
True.
don't care who was running. We did good. We gave it a base. That shit was off the chain and it's doing well now. If it hadn't been for us and our legacy, that gym wouldn't be opening three different little sections, knocking out
True. I'm
walls.
really excited for them, and
Yeah.
proud of your,
Well,
you were like, we're here, and then you took it to here, and then they took it to here, and it's really cool to be been a
it
part
was
of that.
that's the thing. It used to be bitter. That we'll save that for another time. But basically it used to be bittersweet. It was like it was hard. And I know it was hard for
Yeah.
you to like, I don't even want to go in the gym. It makes me feel sad. I thought, you know what, though, one day I thought it'd be easy to feel like, fuck man, we could have done this or that. And I thought, but you know what? There's no them without us.
Yeah.
Like like if we would have just cut it off, they wouldn't have had a gym. That girl's life would have went. We don't know what she would have done with her life. Maybe she would have tried to start a gym from scratch. But and I know I sold it, or we sold it to her,
Yeah.
but we sold it, but gave it to you like this. Like we had to
Right.
start from here and go bup, 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 and then I
Yeah.
sold it and go here. Let me give you all my experience my sister's experience, and take it. And they've had to learn some hard knocks along the way, of course.
Mhm.
You can't just. There's no way you can't not do that. But I'm just saying that wasn't even a
That,
hobby. Like
it
that was
wasn't.
our trade.
That was a trade, a
That was a
definite
trade.
trade, a
Yeah.
very exclusive
But
type
it's
of
all kind
trade.
of interwoven. So yeah.
Yeah. But, the singing, the music, we've been singing together
I know.
since you were old enough to even hang out with us. I mean, you're 7 years younger than me, so it was like, oh, at about 7, 8 years old, I'm like, oh yeah, she's a human. She's not just some little
Well,
annoying baby or toddler. And then when you were 12, we just became best friends. But
yeah.
we had fun with music and our little recorder, our little cassette recorder
Oh
for
my God.
years.
Well, I know we're going to do a whole episode about
Yeah.
entertainment and music and stuff, but short note, yeah, we had the cassette recorder and you guys had your own little radio station, and then you'd have me do little skits and shit. I was
Hmm.
by the way, side note, excuse me, being the youngest, I was the product, or what do you call it, the star or the guinea pig, whatever you want to call it, of all of you and my brother's shit, man. Like,
Yeah.
hey, Alan was into photography, so there's a picture of me with my little braids and a nightgown, and I'm putting my arms up, and he's on the roof, and I'm like, I guess I'm supposed to be a Native American girl or something, because I'm like got my arms up looking at the sky. Or
Oh boy.
you would tell me to do something, sing something, say something on the recorder. Like everybody, everybody had something for me to do. Like, shit, man, she's here. Let's use her for
Let's use her
something.
for something good. No, it was fun. Those are good
Yeah,
memories.
but you know what? That's the whole thing. Is like, again, I know we have a whole music thing we'll do in the future, but as far as a hobby, because of the gymnastics, and again, I'm not sounding bitter when I say this, but basically my thoughts were, I'm going to go to RCC and play basketball, and I want to become a teacher. And I think one semester I took chorus, and something about it didn't feel right. And then I just didn't do it. And then I went into cheerleading, which I'm not saying I regret it. It was a good experience because I always wanted to be a cheerleader. You know, I didn't do it in high school, so I got to do it in college. So I'm glad for that experience. It was good. And that's where I met my first husband and then had my kids, blah, blah, blah. But there's that part that was always just, I want to be a singer. I did the garage band when I was younger, then I wanted to be a singer. But gymnastics, like I had to keep going back to that. But I never regret it because, again, I had to have some sort of grounding and realism. And, you know, with the ADHD, I didn't know it then, but and you didn't know it either, that I think you were helping me to stay grounded. Like, so no matter how sound, this is going to sound like I'm being an asshole, but it's like, yeah, no, I need you here at the gym. I need you to teach with me, which turned out to be the best thing ever because we were so good at it. We built a legacy and we've helped so many people and all that. But you know, there was that part of me that's like, man, I want to fucking be a rock star. I want to go
Yeah,
sing.
and
But that wouldn't have made me money. I couldn't have made money then doing that. I would have fucked it all up.
well,
So,
it's, and the entertainment world, or being an entertainer, being an artist, being a writer,
yeah,
all the things that we love to do are all the things that we had to shove to the side because we had to make a living.
yeah,
So now, as grandmas, and I know you're still working, we're both technically, I'm technically still working, but now it's like the sense of urgency to try and somehow capture so many of those things because we're too old now. So it's like,
well,
at least we
not
can
too
dip our
old.
toe. Well, what I mean is,
I know what you mean.
it's so
Yeah,
we're just gonna dip our toe in the shallow
yeah.
end and splash around now to get some of it. So you're in two bands, so you really did achieve your dream in a way. One, you're one of the
I'm very
leads,
fortunate. I'm
so
very fortunate.
and the
Dude,
other
I
band
do
is
not take it for granted.
amazing, famous, they're popular, they're,
Yeah, I am so fortunate to be in that band. Those
yeah,
guys are top-notch musicians and
well
you'd
known
think
all
that
over
you'd
the
get,
country.
yeah, you'd think you get sick of hearing, like, you know, people do, you know, plays like Hamilton or when Cats was big, or Phantom of the Opera. And it's like, I don't think people realize you have to do those same songs for, you know, three
Years.
three times
Yeah,
a week, you know, maybe
yeah,
four or five. And
right.
but you know what? I sit and listen to those same songs and I just love the musicianship of
Yeah.
these guys. Like I'm singing backup and that's great, but I enjoy the music. I mean,
Mhm.
I was in a marching band. I was in concert band as a kid, and with all of our dance background and acrobatics, music is fucking life to me. Music is everything to me.
Yeah.
So, you know, to be in a band like that is phenomenal. I'm not saying that the other band's not good. I'm just saying these guys have been together for, you know, what, almost 15 years or so. I don't know.
Yeah, since
I know since 2010. Very right?
yeah, in fact, I think 2009, 2008 or 9 may have been when he first started playing with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So yeah, man. And our band, we have a lot of good musicians in our band too, and I'm very thankful. We have a great time. And let's see where that goes. You know, we've played a couple of places. I always think, oh, I'm shit. I always talk to myself, I'm shit, you're shit, you did a shitty job. Ooh, gross. I'm like, okay, that bar would not have you back if you were so shitty. They'd be like, yeah, thanks, we're going with somebody else.
Right, right,
You know,
right.
so it's that imposter syndrome. Like, there's no
And
way. Because I hear myself and I go, who fucking thinks that's good? That is shit. You know, but you've told me that the same way with you with your art. You've told me so many things about the way you feel, and I'm like, that your art's awesome. And then we've had conversations with each other like there's always going to be someone better. There's always going to be a better singer, a better bass player, a better artist, a better
yeah,
gym coach. You know, I'm not the best gym
true.
coach out there, but I know I'm damn good, and so are you. It's like, but that does, you don't have to be the best. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get we're trying to use our love and our interests and our hobbies
The
in a good
joy
way.
of our creative energy spilling over. It's like we
Yes.
never tire of trying new things. And so I'm going to list off all of the hobbies, all the things I've tried
All right, let's
in
do
my life.
this.
Okay. So these
Yes.
are hobbies. And if I get a chance, maybe I'll flash some pictures of
Okay.
whatever
Yeah,
we
yeah,
mention.
yeah.
I'll try to do that. Okay. So like,
All right.
let's see. And I'm going to include like recreational sports or whatever
Wait,
activities.
I want to make sure you include this one because we talked about it earlier. Please mention the cake decorating. It's very
Okay.
important to me.
Okay. I will. All right. So let's see, thinking back, of course, I loved horses, so I did have a horse.
Oh,
So I
yes.
got to have the experience of having a horse. That was amazing. And so many imaginative days with that horse, pretending I was,
Excuse
you
me.
know, like I pretended I was a cowgirl, or then I
Oh,
pretended I was
yeah.
an English jump, in the English jumping
Awesome.
thing. I set up a little 6-inch thing for her to jump over, It was so
Oh,
fun.
my sissy. I love it.
Anyway, and then ballet. I loved ballet, so I did that. I wanted to do water ballet because our cousin Teresa was doing that, and I thought that was a cool
What?
thing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but we couldn't find a water ballet near us, so I took regular ballet, and
Okay.
then baton twirling, and then I did tumbling at the Y for a while, cheerleading, uh, um, gosh,
Wait, you were
I
in the band too, right?
yeah, I played clarinet in the band.
Right.
I did chorus in junior high.
Okay.
You know, camping with Girl Scouts, years of that. So many things, and in between all that, I was drawing and sketching because I loved to draw. I loved art.
Wait, wait,
Um,
wait. Can I interject about the art real quick? Because I got to put my memory on it. My God, the amount of horses you drew and Native Americans riding horses. And the one beautiful picture that I'll never forget as long as I live was it was like a little teapot, sugar pot thing that you had in our kitchen. And then dad had it in his kitchen until they moved from Lake Havasu to Oceanside. I'm sure it's somewhere, but I don't know where it is. I haven't seen it. But I just that picture to me was everything as a
oh,
kid. Like that was the epitome of my sister was an artist, and that's the one picture that resonates with me the most.
oh,
Yeah.
that's neat. I don't even remember it.
What? How dare you? No I'm kidding.
I mean, I don't remember. I can't think of it. Um, so yeah, just all those. And then I learned to play guitar, learned to play bass guitar. Um, I have I've always been able to play recorder, so I do that. Um, Sewing, so many different things, acting, doing musicals, singing, writing songs, writing books. I've published books.
Yep.
Um, so, and I'm not done. There's so much more that
Oh,
in fact, we're going to be doing one of our episodes about one of the projects that I've started doing, which is taking my art, turning it into animation. Well, when I say
yes.
art, taking my digital drawings, turning them into animation, and we're creating an animated series.
Yes.
Um, and I'm not going to give anything away right now, but I will
Okay.
tell you that all of the rock songs in this animated series will be written by me and Wendy.
Yes.
So just know that any of the music, when you start hearing about this series, I'm not just doing loops. I'm actually playing the instrument on the program. It's a virtual instrument, and I'm actually playing the chords and all the stuff. I'm
Yeah,
even
yeah,
playing
yeah.
the drum kit on the program.
Right.
So, um, so
I
it's
know. I'm
terrible.
excited.
It's terrible
On
and
purpose.
hilarious
Oh
because it's
shit.
so
Sorry.
bad. But
Wait, wait, wait.
that's what's gonna make the series even better because it's about some people who think that they're just they're just this great band and everybody's gonna love them, and
Well, I think of it like it's supposed to be almost like a Waiting for Guffman or Best in Show or all those
exactly,
Chris, like Spinal
exactly.
Tap. Yeah,
Spinal Tap, yes, like Spinal Tap.
it's along those lines.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm really excited about that. We put it on hold for a while. Our lives are just
yeah.
like
And
we tried to do it
so
today
hard.
through technology is not happening.
No,
Again, as we get better and have better technology and equipment, but doing it remotely is tough. So,
decorating.
oh yeah, I wanted you to talk about the damn cake decorating, Cheryl. Talk about it.
Well, um, it started because I went to a class in Redlands, at California Cake, because when I my first marriage, my aunt, our Aunt Louise, she made the cake. And
Oh
so I was just
yeah.
fascinated with the how it was beautiful, and just, knowing how do you know how to do that,
Wait,
And
wait,
before
wait.
that,
She made your wedding cake?
yeah,
Okay, wait, she made
sh-
my first wedding cake too.
yeah, she did.
Okay, yeah.
She did. So, and I learned how, before that, I think I was doing like just small cakes with I got one of those little kits, and, I did
Yeah.
small ones early on. But my first real, I had a class where she told me to go to this place in Redlands, and I took a class. And from then on, I was making all kinds of cakes.
Yep.
So,
I just love it because I think I had told mom this. I said, I really want to get all the pictures of all the cakes that she's ever made and somehow put them in a compilation. And I feel like we did somewhere. I don't know where it was, but I know
yeah.
you did a baby shower cake for one of her nurse friends, and it was just so badass at the time. Again, it doesn't matter. To me, it was badass. I don't know. At the time, I just remember it was a sheet cake, and then there was a little square that represented a block on top that had pink or blue because they didn't know what the baby was. We didn't do that shit then. And the little baby sleeping on top. And I just, I just was amazed. I had a cast you drew a cast for me when of Garfield slamming a basketball. You took the picture from a coloring book of Garfield reaching into a fishbowl and transferred that onto my cast because I hurt my ankle playing basketball in college, and so my cast you would put Garfield slamming a basketball, that kind of shit. And then for my birthday, you put Garfield again on a cake. I don't remember what he was doing, but I loved Garfield. I had a Garfield telephone because it was so fucking cool. Um, you made one that said you've wormed your way into our hearts, and you had a actual anatomically correct heart that you put on the cake and then put gummy worms in it. One of them was at the end of the rainbow was a pot of gold with gold coins in it. You made one for a brother with a water skier on it. But my favorite fucking ultimate will always be when I did my book report in, I think it was second or third grade. And the book report was you could bring anything to represent your book report, a craft, a poster, whatever. And I chose to have my sister make a cake. It was called Ghost Rock Mystery. And you took the front cover of the book and made it. And everybody was like, what the? I remember that everybody was like so impressed. And I was in elementary school. So you couldn't have been much older than a freshman or a sophomore. I kid you not. And you fucking recreated the cover of Ghost Rock Mystery. And I wish I had a picture of that shit. Maybe it exists somewhere. I don't know, but
That
it was so
I
good.
vaguely remember that. You know what, though? I should say that the whole cake decorating thing really actually did start with mom, because mom had a book, like a magazine, or like a Better Homes and Gardens cake
Uh huh.
decorating guide or
Oh, okay.
something. And
Yeah.
she was making cakes too. So, that's kind of, I think, how it started. I got to plug my computer back in real quick.
Okay. To this day, though, man, everybody laughs at me, but I only because of the cakes you made. I love the traditional white cake with that fucking white buttercream icing with you had the stay ice, whatever that shit was.
Right.
Phenomenal. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I literally went and bought a cake recently, and it was whipped cream, and I was pissed off. It had the little Pokemon rings. It was a kid's cake, and I said, I'll take that cake. It was from Staters, I think. And I didn't ask. And I got it home, and my son and I were going to have a slice, and I sliced him a piece. And I go, this is whipped cream. And he's all, and I go, I can't eat this shit. It's whipped cream, and I don't like it. I go, I'm going to go get another cake. He goes, you're going to go fucking buy another cake? They're like baby kid smash cakes, little kid cakes. I
Right.
go, yes, I am. And I went back to Vaughn's and I grilled the bitch that was working there. And I said, is this buttercream? And it wasn't even the baker. It was another like person, a random worker. And I looked at her and I go, look, man, I'm not going to buy this unless it's buttercream. I go, can you vouch that? And we had the whole conversation about how it's better and stuff. She goes, look, here's how you tell the difference. And she goes, and she was telling me, and I go, oh, thanks for the tip. And so I'm like, I'm going to take a chance. And then when I got it home, I'm like, it was buttercream. And I was so excited.
Oh, good.
And Amelia was like, you threw the other cake away? I go, yes, I did, because it was shit. Anyway, sorry to go on that tangent, but
No, it's all
I
right.
just loved your cake decorating. So good.
It was fun. It was just so time consuming and you know,
Yeah.
very expensive if if you're just it wasn't at the time, but it is now. Just thinking about how much it would cost just to make a half a sheet cake from scratch.
Yeah. Yeah.
The way I used to do it with that same
Right.
frosting. And I've lost all those recipes. I'd have to look them up. But
Yeah.
I should make start doing that again. And
Again, your artistry, like my penmanship is shit. And on a cake, are you kidding me? If I can't even write on a piece of paper, how the fuck am I going to write with icing? But no, seriously though, it was so good. But I left because as much as I could praise you for that, that wasn't your calling in life. You know what I mean? It's like,
did
I
that
met a
one.
girl that worked for us. I don't know if you remember Jillian.
Hmm.
Jillian worked for us, and I was amazed because she said, well, I'm on scholarship for soccer at U of R. And I'm like, what the? But I was like a level 8 gymnast or whatever. And she was working for us. And I'm like, what the fuck? She goes, yeah, I was good at soccer, so I got a scholarship. And that wasn't even her sport. It was like a sport she did, but so to me, what I think of you like that, like you're good at so many things, but you're like, yeah, cake decorating's good. I probably could have made a professional business at it or whatever, but you know what? I didn't want to do that shit. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of people who do something that you're like, whoa, I didn't expect that you would do that. So our hobby sometimes can be a struggle. Like, okay, I've been beating this dead horse for years and I want to make money and I'm not. But also, you can stumble upon that hobby and make a lot of money, and no one would
Hmm.
ever think, wow, you could actually make a living doing that. So,
Right.
just like beauty is in the eye of the beholder, it's the same thing to me with art. Like, you know, depends on where your passion is and how other people interpret it or appreciate it. So,
That's true. So now tell us about your hobbies.
well, I did brownies. I've talked about this before that of course I was the only girl on the baseball team, the
Hmm.
Ukaipa baseball team in the 70s. I mean, there were probably other teams, maybe other girls. I just know I was on the Bears. Mr.
Up
What was his
yours.
name? Mr. Jaquist, Coach Jaquist, I think. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if his name was Jerry Jaquist or his kid, but Mr. Jaquist. And I was the only girl. I had my little braids and my jeans. I can't believe we used to do it in jeans. And then I was the only girl on the city basketball team that I was on. Then I was on I was in Brownies, almost got kicked out because I was an ADHD little spaz, and they almost kicked me out of that. Uh, my brother, or our brother Alan, had a unicycle, didn't want to ride it. And I'm like, hey, man, let me check out this unicycle. And he gave me a few pointers. And then
Hmm.
I just took off from there. And unicycle was a big part of my life
Yeah,
for a
you
good
were.
4 or 5 years.
I remember that. It was awesome.
Yeah. And then, I did gymnastics. I did chorus from the time I was in fourth grade all the way through high school. I did clarinet from fourth grade to eighth grade. I was the drum major in eighth grade and was shitty at it. I was good at twirling the shit out of that drum major stick, but couldn't remember to cue everybody to do their fucking. I know the drummers probably hated me then. The whistle. What are you doing? My ADHD was not good for the drum major part of the whistle and telling them when to come in, but boy, I look good twirling the fuck out of that. I'll never I'll never forget when we did we were in junior high, so it was eighth grade. We got to go to the stadium at the U of R, University of Redlands. That's where we used to play our football games. And we got to perform, the junior high got to perform at halftime with the high school band. You guys play in
Right.
high school. And the theme of our song was Dallas. Da, 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 da. And in the very end, this was a personal choice. I took the stick and a da 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 da. I took the stick and I threw it in the fucking ground and then just stood there like a power pose and the fucking stick stuck in the ground. That was my choice because I had to be extra. But no, I did all that stuff and then um, I took jazz class. I gotta say, I gotta toot my own horn because I just thought about this the other day. I took jazz class at RCC, and I remember I took the beginner course. I signed up for the beginner course, and I was in there one day, and the the instructor's like, "Why are you in the beginner course?" I go, "I've never taken jazz before." They're like, "Yeah, you need to go to the intermediate advanced," because we had done gymnastics, and but I again never thought of myself. I got to take the first step first, and so I feel pretty good that someone taught me to do a tap dance, so I know
Yeah.
enough just to fake it like I could tap. Like, oh, you can tap. I go, I only know this one step, but I know it really good. Um, so I know a little about a lot of things. Juggling, I taught myself to juggle till I was juggling pins, and then our good friend Circus Pete said, "What the fuck are you doing with those pins?" He's like, "That is not the way you juggle." And then I tried to show him. He goes, "I think that it's too late. You've already taught yourself, and I don't think you can change." So apparently, I juggled the pins wrong. But just little things like that. I love doing goofy stuff, magic tricks.
Yeah.
We do little tiny magic tricks with our kids. It wasn't real like an illusion of shit. It was just goofy stuff, but just to me those are hobbies. Choreographing, knowing what props to
Yes.
use. I'd
Yes.
use anything for a
Making
prop.
props, creating
Yeah.
costumes.
I'm feeling pretty like I'm not good at sewing. You were the sewer, but I was good at looking at something and going, you know what, piece this together with this.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm not a fashionista, like I'm not into fashion, but yet I laugh at myself because when I see a really good fucking costume, whether it's Hamilton or what was the other one they had that was oh shit. I don't know. I can't think off. I'm sure I think of it later, but just I'll see a costume and go, "Oh my God, I love that." And I'm not even a girly girl, but I'll see a girly girl type of costume and I love it. So I
Right.
really realize that in another life, I think I would have loved to just be a costumer, and learn
Hmm.
to sew. And again, it's never too late.
Never.
Um,
That we might be a good team at doing something like that.
maybe,
So
man.
who knows?
Another, I gotta say, another quote hobby is something I inherited, and this happened recently. Before probably about 5 years before COVID, my spouse at the time was doing. I don't know. He was trying to find hatch chili seeds or something because he wanted to grow his own chilies, and he couldn't find them and couldn't find them, and somehow he stumbled upon selling the seeds himself or whatever. I don't know. So he
Mhm.
got an Etsy and he was selling seeds. And at some point with his business, it got overwhelmed. And he goes, "Hey, man, you want to sell these seeds?" And I'm like, sure. Okay. Just show me how to do it, whatever. And then it just, of course, when he was doing like, and no offense to him, that's not his forte. They were just business like envelopes with the seeds and his handwritten scrawl on it, and like, this is
Right.
how you're fucking sending these seeds, dude, through the mail and shit. So then I felt pretty good because I got little seed envelopes and I stamped them and I put washi tape on them. I made them look really cute. And then I had a system down on my Google Docs, and I got proud of myself because it's, again, with the ADHD, just, I'm all over the place, but this gave me a regimen, man. It gave me some purpose and a regimen, and I have to get it done. Put me under the wire, you
Yeah.
know? And then when COVID came and everybody wanted to be a fucking farmer, I made like, I swear we made like $2,000 one month. And I was like, oh, this is the way this shit's going to be. And we had a garden at our house. We had everything. It was
Yeah.
a full on backyard garden and I was all stoked. But then COVID trickled out and so did the business. And so did our garden because I had to go back to work and get an actual fucking job. And
Been there,
so,
done that.
yeah, I know you have, sis. And so then I just ended it. I finally ended it. But, we're talking about hobbies turning to stuff. But then I got a call from my brother in law who said, hey, we don't let wives in the band. That's a no-no, but you're kind of wife adjacent. And would you like to do background singing for the band? And I was like, yeah. But to be honest, I thought they're never going to pick me. I'm not good enough for this band. There's no way, whatever. I had a shitty first little impression at the bar they were doing. I couldn't hear myself. I hadn't practiced in years. I didn't do vocal warm-ups. I was so green again. But it,
Mm,
and then it led to, okay, they kept me on and here I am, all these years later, almost eight years later, I think, and making money. And then now I got same thing. My brother-in-law put me in touch with someone else who was looking for a vocalist in a band. So I think what's funny about that is that hobby led me to, I think, realizing what I wanted to do with you and vice versa. When you stopped working and were watching Jason, I think it just, our roads kind of came together because it was like, what the, and it's like and it took a long time. It wasn't instant. It was just out of sight, out of mind. We were doing the gym together for 25 fucking years, then we separated, had our own parallel lives, and then it was like, wait a minute, you're doing this, wait a minute, you're doing this, why don't we fucking do this? So I just feel like it was that kind of divine intervention slap, which, I'm not a
yeah.
believer, but I just say divine intervention
Well,
because who
I,
knows how it happened.
it's like if if we if we have some kind of a plan in our consciousness as to where we want to be, then we're obviously going to make choices and decisions
Right.
that lead us to that, even if
Yeah.
subconsciously we're making these choices and decisions. And we
Yeah.
just know that our future is at some point together,
It's
physically
always going
and
to be together. Yeah.
things together. So
Well, I always say we're twins that are 7 years apart
yeah,
because
yeah,
it took 7 years. Well, I mean, when I turned 18, like, I mean, we started getting closer when like you said, when I was like 12, but
yeah.
but you couldn't do anything about it until I was like 18, until I was
18.
free game, to be like out in the world, and you could take me under your wing. So,
We're up to
you'll never hear the word regret come out of my mouth to say that I didn't do this because I chose to do the gym or whatever. That path had to happen. I don't have any regrets. Every fucking thing I've done in my life has led up to this moment. And
yeah,
yeah, we'd all go back and change a few things or whatever. I'd say financially saving. Yeah, I probably would have
yeah,
saved.
yeah.
I
I'd
would
be
have done
smarter,
some financial shit different,
right?
but to learn the lessons I did, and I'm so glad. Like I said, my mom said about me once, you just did so many different things. You didn't stick to one thing. And I said, but mom, I'm glad because I feel like I'm so well rounded. I never would have taught the kids at the gym to ride a unicycle. Like, what gymnastic studio is teaching kids to ride a unicycle? Yeah, there's circus groups, but we were a gymnastic studio. But I'm like, nah, I want a unicycle in my show. And
Yeah,
the kids were over the top because I brought a unicycle in and I let them all have a turn. And I thought, that kid may be interested in 10 years of doing unicycle at
Yeah.
the Y Circus. I don't give a shit when it happens. Hey, I rode a unicycle once. I'd love to be someone else's story. I don't care if it's good, bad, or otherwise. They're talking about me, you know? No, I don't want them to be bad, but you know what I'm saying. It's great.
It's I know that, you know, people I think it's not even, I was going to say it's generational, but I don't even believe that that's the case. I think
Oh, yeah, no.
as far as the thought that you should just stay on one track and you know, do one thing and do it the best, right?
Yeah, because that's
There are
today
still,
too. Yeah.
yeah, there are people today who live their lives that way, and it's fine and it's very safe and it's very smart.
Yeah, whatever for
But
you, do you?
it's just not for me.
Yeah.
I'm here to try to enjoy everything in life that I possibly have an interest in.
Yeah.
And I just feel like we're here to create and expand, and so for me that's just part of who I am.
Yeah. Now,
So
see, well, you just hit the nail on the head to me. Expand, just like the expanding universe. I mean,
yes.
why fucking stay in the same old shit? Like, I knew some Spanish, but when this Duolingo came out, and it's a game, it's like basically a game, but you're learning
Mhm.
Spanish. And I was like, yes, this is what I need because I don't, I'm never going to go to school and go to college. Never say never, but to take a Spanish class and take 4 years of Spanish. And I'm learning on this app. And then there's French, there's chess, there's math and music. I already know music, but it's enhancing my music knowledge, and math I'm shitty at. So the math is better. And then chess, I've always wanted to learn chess. So here I've got this app. And then I just downloaded an app for sign language. I already knew sign language. I'm sharing it with my granddaughter also. It's like, why not?
Yeah, why
And
not?
yeah, why not? And we didn't even get to the book writing. Okay, real quick. Like,
Yeah.
I think we touched base on this once before. Our government teacher in Ukaipa High School, you were 78, I was 85. And his name was Mr. Hayden, and he's long past now. He was a hardcore man. He basically said, do you want, I'm going to let you do the A work, B work, or C work. He literally let you decide. I said C work because I was terrified. I didn't think I was an A or B student, and I picked C work. And because that's what you needed to play basketball was C average, you know. I never challenged myself, and my boyfriend at the time was like our brother. He was very fucking smart. Remember Doug?
Yeah.
Very smart. And so he probably picked the A route, and that mother lover could like not even go to school and take a test and pass it. It was disgusting. In fact, the reason he didn't walk our graduation years because he didn't have enough days. He was truant.
Oh.
And then he made it up. But anyway, so I took that class, and in the very end, I don't know if you ever had him, but in the very end, traditionally, he'd say, I want you to do a philosophy of life. That was our project.
Mhm.
No judgment, no grade, but it was part of the grade, as in you had to do it, but I don't
Right.
think he graded it. And I wrote, because of my ADHD madhouse stuff, like I loved writing, but you were the writer. And my friend, I won't say her name, but a friend of mine was a journalism person, and I always saw her as that newspaper person, journalist. I wasn't a writer. I was a dumb jock. You know, you label yourself,
You
right?
label yourself. Yeah.
I labeled myself. So I did this, I have it somewhere. I did the full philosophy of life, and I don't remember exactly what he said, but he put some really good praise on it. And I'll never
Nice.
forget that Mr. Hayden liked what I wrote. Because, you know, you're all thinking I'm a dumbass. He's going to be like, okay, that's great. You fucking weirdo. What the fuck are you writing about? So someday maybe we'll have to like read shit
You
like
gotta
that. We'll do a
find that.
writing thing or
Yeah.
whatever. And I took and you know what doused me in school? I took a creative writing course in RCC, and I didn't get any praise for it. And it was like she was always dragging me down. And I just quit because after that I thought I'm just not a writer, because I thought I came up with some really good ideas and stories. And so I just thought, I'm not a writer. My sister is. Why are you trying to be a writer? Fuck off. No,
Oh.
seriously though, but then I know I have good ideas. It doesn't matter if I can verbalize it or whatever, or put it on paper. I know I have good ideas, which, by the way, I have another idea. I'll tell you off camera
All
that
right.
I tell you about. I'm so excited about it. Anyway, I have a million book ideas, and you've written books, and you've written a movie scripts per se. Like, we just haven't put them to anything, but we've made little not movies, but I mean ideas about movies. We've come up with some we think funny shit, but your kids made up some funny skits. But anyway,
Yeah.
we've been involved in movies. We've done extra work. That's another thing, extra work. I'll put that on my hobby list, that I did a lot of
Yes.
like little extra movie things and commercials in the background back in the day. So yeah. Anyway, and you've done theater, I've done theater. We've done professional. We got fucking paid to be a professional theater
Oh, that's
actor.
cool.
So
Forgot about that. Yeah, we got
yeah.
paid.
So oh, hashtag first person problems.
That's right.
We really need to shut the fuck up.
No, I think it's okay to celebrate all the things you've been able to experience,
Yeah.
and um I it, I'm grateful, and
Oh yeah.
I'm not stopping anytime soon on anything. I'm just gonna keep playing. That's what I'm here to do, is play and create.
Right.
So that's what I
On
plan to
that
do.
note, I want to tell you on that note, we were talking about earlier, like purging and going through stuff. I know a lot of people would cringe at this, but I had to make an executive decision in my life. I had awards up the ass. Okay. Talk about hashtag first world problems. I had awards up the ass. And last year, when I went through and cleaned out my storage unit, I had a plaque of me playing basketball, RCC, state champions, blah, blah, blah. We got rings and all the shit. And you know what? I took my name off the plate. I took a picture of them, took the name off the plate, fucking threw it in the dumpster. And I feel bad, but my kids, what are they going to do with it when I die?
Yeah,
Are
that's
they going to
true.
display? Where the fuck is it going to go? I
Right.
took my baton, gymnastics, track, basketball. To be honest, I took pictures of them. I took the nameplates off and put them somewhere. And then I tossed the big giant wooden plaque because I realized I don't want to do that to my kids. My kids, I'm not saying they don't give a shit because they don't care about me, but what are they going to do with it?
Right. Haul it
I took
around for the
pictures
rest of
of
their
it.
life.
I'll make a
I
little
know.
thing that says my
Yeah.
awards, and they can peruse them. Oh, mom got an award for this, but
Yeah.
I just felt like if my mom had a bunch of bowling trophies or baton trophies, like, I guess, where would I display them? Where would I put them?
Yeah. What
I
would
don't
we
even
do?
have an office,
Yeah.
So anyway, that was just my little tidbit.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really a hard process when, especially with four kids. I've got so much stuff,
I know.
and after, three marriages and moving so many times, um, but I'm getting down to the nitty-gritty, and
Good.
hopefully gonna start off in our new place without all that stuff,
Yeah.
and make things a little more organized so that when the time comes, my kids don't have to do much, that's
Yeah. Well, that's just it. The Dutch cleaning. You've seen the Dutch cleaning
mhm.
idea where you clean like you're gonna die.
Yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much
I'll
where
tell
I'm at.
you, I have saved. It's like I cut it down and then I revisit it and cut it down. But like, oh well, Cheryl made all these but Cheryl mostly made all these newsletters from gymnastics, and Kristen made some, and it's like I took pictures of them, but I still couldn't throw them away. It's like, just fucking,
Throw it
I
away.
know she'll forgive me. Sorry, the cat's making a weird noise, doing that. What
Mm,
the crazy cat? Yeah, and for me, it's like it's crafting stuff. Like I said, it's like a little pack rat. I'll
mm.
pull a bin out from under my bed and think I've gotten rid of shit, and then here's a bunch of corks and
Ah,
empty medicine bottles or some weird shit that
right.
it's like a little pack rat nest to start at a little tiny collection. No, get rid of it. What are you doing?
Yeah. Because if we don't have time to finish all those little projects that we think about, that we need to collect stuff for,
Yeah,
and we never do anything with it, then we're just creating more work for ourselves and then
And our kids.
feeling up, bad about ourselves
Oh
because we
yeah,
didn't
like yeah.
follow through.
Yep.
So it's like, don't set yourself up for that.
Nope.
Now, that doesn't mean
I'm working on it.
ideas have to disappear and you can write those down
No.
in a journal all day.
Oh my God, Cheryl. You should see the notes
I
on
know
my
the
fucking
notebook.
iPhone right now.
Well, at least
My
you're doing it
notes.
on digitally now instead of those notebooks you used to write in.
You know how many half written, yeah. I finally just tore the
Yeah.
pages out of those and go, hey, I
Yeah.
got a fresh book. Oh my gosh.
Well, we could go on forever with this subject, but
I know. We love to talk about ourselves and our hobbies.
well,
Whatever.
this is all leading up to something that we're going to be doing. So, viewers, thank you again
Yes.
for bearing with us on our reminiscing, and I'm
Thank
sure you're bored to
you.
tears if you're even still with us. But I will say that this is definitely leading up to something that we're going to be sharing that's really fun. And I know we keep teasing
Definitely.
you
I'm
with that,
excited.
but it's
Yeah.
we have to do it together in the same room. So it's like
Yeah,
there are
it would
some
be
of the
better.
things that we're doing that
Hopefully we'll
it's
do it
too
next
hard.
week. I'm off
Yeah.
school for the next couple weeks, and even then it's like I have Saturday band practices, but I don't have to be there until like 9:30, so I can handle that.
Well, we'll talk because yeah, we'll figure something out. Um, and if it weren't for the gigs that you had this week,
I
we probably could
know.
have gotten together uh last night, Thursday
Right,
night.
right, right.
But I'm glad that I was able to take this week and just do all the stuff I
Yeah,
did
no, I
because
think that's good sometimes. We need to take a break.
I'm the biggest procrastinator, and you give me any excuse in the world, and I will take it and run with it not to do something. So,
And by the way, we're not sponsored yet. If we were sponsored by somebody, we'd have to be available. We're not sponsored yet. I'm
that's
putting it
true.
out there. We don't have a
Right.
Patreon yet, but I am putting it out there in the ethers because I know at some point we could do it, sis.
Well, we'll talk because, like I said, there are some projects that we can kind of start weaving in to this,
Yeah.
and Grandma's not right for a reason,
Yep. That's
and
right.
that reason is because if we played the game of life like most other grandmas that are normal, we would not have as much fun, for one thing, and we wouldn't
Yeah.
be leaving anything behind that was fun for other people.
That's true. That's why I like that. I want to get a shirt that says, I'm not for everyone.
Remind me of that. Remind me
Okay.
of that idea because I
All
have
right.
something to
Sounds
tell
good.
you later. Okay. All right. Well, thanks again for being with us.
Thank
And
you.
we love you and we're so glad to share our life with you. And yeah. So we'll see you on the next one. Have a
Grandma's
great week.
not.
Right.
We'll get there.
Okay.
All right.
All
Bye,
right.
everybody.
Bye.